पद नहीं पता नहीं, जो धारी राय सो हमारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना, who asked you live at zero complete level, मौज में रहो, be happy.
Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. There are two major texts in our religion. One is Bhagavad Gita and the second is Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. They are meant for what? So one principle we have to first learn and then we go ahead. Like, for every subject, it has its own vocabulary and own language. For example, once I was doing something in my drawing room and I was not seeing where is my mouse. So I told some other person who was looking at me. I said, hey, go and get the mouse from my study room. So he went, collected a mouse trap and got a mouse for me. I said, come on, why did you get this? You only told me get a mouse for me. Now, the word mouse, the spelling is exactly the same. There is no difference. But what is the reference? Reference is I am sitting before the laptop. So I wanted mouse. So when we do not understand the correct meaning of the words given with reference to context, there is every possibility that we mistake and we misunderstand. See, friends. Therefore, these two texts, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Mahapuran, they are meant for what? See? So we'll take part of Bhagavad and then part of Bhagavad Gita. Then we get a concept what exactly it is. Before the Bhagavad Mahapuran begins, there are 6 chapters from Padma Puran and they are told to inform us what is the value and importance of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. We are attracted towards the things under 2 conditions. When we like something because of the qualities, or when we like something because of the value. See, for example, a boy and a girl, they love each other. So, that word love for the boy and the girl is a verb. I love her, I love him. Any action which begins must end. Isn't it? So whenever love is an action, therefore the proverb is, I have fallen in love. See? Because the action. And now the mother has love for the child. Now the word love with reference to child is a noun. It is not a verb. See the basic difference? Word is the same. When it is action, we fall. and it ends. See? And the fall is called as marriage, and end is called as divorce. Isn't it? But have we ever heard that a mother has fallen in love with the child? No. Now, those of you who have gone through that experience, your mother or your mother-in-law, everybody must have told you 101 instructions. Don't do this, don't do this way, eat this, don't eat that, it is not good. 101 things. Has anybody been ever told that you love your child? Think, friends. Therefore, when we study, we must know that what we are talking about is the experience, not an action. If we can differentiate between action and experience, then our understanding will be perfect. Otherwise, we get only lost in erudition and scholarship. Erudition and scholarship does not lead us anywhere except arrogance and confusion. See, my friends, therefore, in the first 6 chapters borrowed from Padma Puran, a principle is established. What is the principle? What is the greatness of Bhagavad Mahapuran? And for that, they told a story. See. Now, the language which is used for communicating the divine that we are is a language of stories. And if we do not understand the import of the stories, see, many times the stories are told, but what is meant, what we call in English as the moral of the story. The moral of the story is what? Don't get lost into the characters, but what is the principle that is conveyed. If we are not able to do that, then we get lost only in words. See, about this I'll tell you one example. One very deep principle I was establishing while giving a talk. And there was one old man sitting in front, very nice, sincere. I normally do not entertain questions while the talk is going on. But that old man sitting very cuddled way, when that story was over, he said, Swamiji, I got a question. By looking at him, I could not dare say not now. So I said, okay, what is that? Now what was the story? The story was, there was a fish from the sea. He happened to go to a well. And in the well, there was a frog. And this happened in India. Therefore, the frog was Indian. And Indians have got this quality. They want to ask everything about you. See? Where are you born? Why are you born? When was it? Was it night or day? Whether normal delivery? They will ask you indefinite questions. So this frog, being Indian, he also started asking questions to that fish. Who are you? He said, I am fish. Where are you from? I am from sea. What is sea? He said, sea is water. How much water? Question after question. He said, lot of water. What lot of? This much. A frog cannot think beyond the measurement of his own palm. This much water. Now you can imagine how the fish will tell. And tragedy with the fish is, he doesn't have neck. So he wagged his tail. He said, no. Then maybe this much water? He said, no. This much water? No. Then he took a leap in the waters. This much? He said, no, Baba. Then he jumped diagonally wall to wall. Do you mean this much? Out of sarcasm. The fish said, no. Then how much? Come. They went to the ocean. And now the Fish asked the question to the frog, tell me how much is the water? He keeps his mouth shut. This is the story I told. After the story was told, that old man asked me this question. Swamiji, yes, how that fish went to the well? So I told, by Kingfisher Airlines. Now tell me, what was the import of the story? What was the moral of the story? A person who is lost in small little things, he can never even imagine the infinite. See, my friends, we want to know God, and we are lost in dog. Unless we break the barriers of limitations, the truth can never be revealed. See, friends, and this can happen only if we are able to recognize the value for something. And if we recognize the value, we have no questions, we have no difficulty, we will work hard. Take for example, we all have value for money, isn't it? Has anybody ever asked this question? Earning money is difficult, therefore I am not going to earn money. No, we have value. Therefore, we find out techniques. Above the table, below the table, around the table. Anyway, we should get money because we have value for the money. My friends, in the same manner, when we will have value for the spiritual life, there will be no difficulties. There will be no excuse. What is happening for us? Spirituality has become the luxury of the useless people like me. See? And then they become angry. In Delhi, it happened. After my talk was over, as usual, be happy, mauj mein raho, that is the slogan. So when my talk was over, one lady, married lady, elderly lady, she came as if she wanted to catch my collar. Therefore, I don't have one. So she wanted to catch my collar and said, what is this all the time telling be happy, get married and show, be happy. That means marriage is a license to be miserable. Tathastu, may you be. Friends, whenever we talk of difficulties, we have not recognized the value of that. See, friends, this we have to understand. And therefore, in Bhagavad Mahapuran earlier, borrowed from other Puran, the value of devotion or Bhagavad Katha is told. See. And then how should we listen to the Satsang? So, to cut the story short, there was a person, Gokarna his name, and he had a brother who had become a ghost because of his bad deeds. And ghosts do not have the physical body, they are only air-like. So when he wanted to listen to that, he entered the space in a bamboo. It has 7 knots. And when he was listening, first day Katha was over, first knot was opened. Second day Katha was opened, second knot was opened. And the last day, 7th day, the story or the satsang was over, the last knot opened, and out of that bamboo, a divine person came out. And the Lord comes there and wants to take him to the heavens or to the Vaikuntha. Now this Kathakar, he says, sir, why are you biased? So what? He is not the only one who heard. Others also heard. Why don't you take everybody? Then the Lord tells, look here. He was 100% committed to what he heard. After listening the whole day, he was not sleeping and eating. He was reflecting on that, what he has heard. And thus for 7 days, he was 100% committed to this, to the exclusion of everything. Therefore, he has not only heard, but he has digested and assimilated the knowledge. And therefore he is coming with me. Others have heard, and while hearing also, their mind goes here and there, or they are remembering something, the phone rings, and then we remember at home, I have put food on the gas, I hope I have closed it or not. 101 things go on in the mind. With such a fractured mind, what can we learn? So from this story, what we have to learn? See? Therefore, I told you, friends, we have to learn the moral of the stories. If we don't understand it, then nobody can help us. Technically, it is called as Tatparya Nirnay. Tatparya Nirnay means moral of the story. What is the moral of the story? That if you are walking the path of spirituality, you should never be miserable. Many times what happens, one girl called me, Swamiji, tell my mom something. I said, okay, I'll tell. She comes for your satsang every time she is here. Then afterwards she comes home and starts scolding us all the time. Did you teach her that you scold the children? Now see what is happening. She gave a wrong message. You go for satsang, and when you go home, you become angry with your kids. So what the message is, never go for satsang, because I have seen my mother, when she goes to satsang, she comes home, she becomes totally nonplussed, and therefore never go to satsang. See, friends, therefore we have to live this life 24/7. Friends, we have to live our life. We have to die our death. We have to lead our spiritual life. There is no proxy. I had a toothache, so it was awful. So when I was giving lecture, now and then I have to place it here. So one person, there is a pain? Yes. Then I said, why don't you take some medicine for me? Can somebody take medicine for me? I had to live my life. I had to take my medicine. I had to die my death. I have to lead my spiritual life. Nobody can help us in this. My friends, please remember this thing. And second thing, if we are really leading spiritual life, what happens? We are 24/7 relaxed, cheerful, happy, and all the specialities associated with us are dropped. See, like one person asked me this question in US. Swamiji, you are a Swami. What does it mean? I said, it means, first of all, when we are a Swami, we are technically dead. We have no bank account. We have no property. We have no possessions. And we are nobody. And when you are nobody, you are happy. It is said, is it not? Nobody is happy. It is very true. Nobody alone is happy. Somebody is always miserable. See? Therefore, spiritual life is not becoming extraordinary. Drop all the extra. No respect, no disrespect. No demands. With this attitude, when we live our day-to-day life, that is real sannyas. We are tailor-made sannyasi. Demanding so many things. See, friends, therefore, this spiritual life is meant for us to live. Now the question is, this life has to be lived 24/7. See, one of my friend, very fat, and he told me, Swami, I have decided now to change my diet. You will also take? I said, yes, I take whatever comes. He was taking only the leaves, that salads. So like a buffalo, so much quantity he is to eat. So I took little bit. And after that was over, he said, now I'm fed up with this, enough now. Let me have some ice cream. Half kilo ice cream. So first you are taking grass to reduce the weight and compensation by ice cream. Exactly the same way. We attend to satsang, but we don't practice. Friends, spiritual life is lived by simple technique, I tell you. The technique is, take every moment, every event, every interaction in your life as a spiritual examination. Every moment. And in every examination, we must be A+. Then we are leading spiritual life. See, friends, then we don't do anything. Things happen. See, like the flower does not give fragrance. Has any flower gone somewhere? Hey, look at me, I got good fragrance. No. Flower has fragrance. Anybody who comes in its contact is benefited. If nobody comes, never mind. See, friends, let the fragrance of spirituality spread around us. Not to teach others, but to learn from everything. Somewhere they asked me, Swamiji, what is the spiritual practice you follow? I said, my spiritual practice is very difficult, you will not be able to follow. No, tell, we will try. I said, okay. I learn from every experience. And therefore, you all grahasthas are my guru. I have learned so many things from you. You have got wife, husband, children, in-laws, outlaws, so many of them. Yet you have time to come and listen to satsang. I am full-timer. And yet I have got complaints. Tell me, who is superior? See, friends, and another important thing, nobody can teach anything to anybody in life. We have to learn. This where from I learned, I tell you, learning. Where from I learned this principle? I learned from your kids. See? Has any child ever asked his or her mother, Mummy, when you were a baby, how did you learn walking? They don't ask. They observe. The child is lying on the back and looks around. Everybody is walking by their legs. How come I am not walking? So he starts moving the legs. Still, I am not moving ahead. I think something wrong. He doesn't cry. He doesn't ask anybody. He turns. Then comes on the stomach. Then like a reptile, he starts moving. But even then, it is not fast, man. Something is wrong. Then he comes on the knees and the hands. And slowly starts like a calf. Even then, not good. Then he goes and touches the wall, stands up. And then he is very happy. And slowly, with the help of the wall, he is walking. He is learning every moment. And then he slowly develops balance. Then he put the first step without balance, without support. And first step when he falls down, imagine. Because the child has fallen by taking the first step, therefore, I don't think I can walk. Will he able to walk ever in life? Spiritual life is our own evolution. So when the child is learning walking, he is not obliging others. In the same manner, when we are walking our spiritual life, we are not obliging the world. It is our need. And whenever we are in need, we cannot have arrogance. We cannot have demands. See, friends, how simple this is. Therefore, a real spiritual life is we have to learn from every single experience of our life. Nobody can teach us. But normally, what happens? We have only complaints. Swamiji, my mind is very disturbed. What should I do? Your mind? No? Yes, then you should know. What can I do about your mind? No, but whenever I sit for meditation, the mind runs away here and there. What should I do? Don't sit for meditation. Now, what my guru told, do meditation, then do meditation. But then the mind gets disturbed, then don't do meditation. You decide, man. Complaining. We are the mobile complaint boxes. Complain about everything. If there is nothing to complain, weather is always available. Complain about weather. Friends, learn. And this learning can happen when knowledge is interacted in a wise manner, then the knowledge gets converted into understanding. And understanding, when it is practiced, it becomes experience. Simply reading the books, etc., nothing happens. See, friends, same thing we do with our guru, etc. The food is in the plate. Where is the hunger? In the pet, in the stomach. By looking at the food or by chanting the name of the food, Rasgulla, Jalebi, is our stomach going to be filled? Then lift that food from the plate, put it in your mouth, chew it properly, salivate it, and swallow it. Then alone hunger will go away. Exactly. In place of the food, keep the guru. You can't eat that guru. Then what the guru gives us? Guru gives us knowledge. The knowledge is with the guru. Then how that knowledge can go in us? When we interact with the knowledge in such a manner that the knowledge is interacted properly, it becomes understanding. Understanding reflected again and again, it becomes conviction, and we are all leading only convictions in our life. Today we are all convinced. I am convinced that I am a man. Even if God comes and tells me, no, you are a woman, I will not agree. Because I am convinced. Spiritual life is living with this conviction that we are divine. We don't have to prove to others. If I want to prove to others, suppose, just an example, suppose I tell, come on, friends, I am a man. You know that I am a man. I am not a woman really. I tell you really, sincerely, I am a man. I am not a woman. Don't you see my beard? See, I am a man. When I will keep on telling again and again, I am man, when nobody has asked me, they will start doubting why this guy is telling this. We don't have to prove anything to anybody in life. Are we at peace with ourselves? Are we carrying the burden of regrets? Are we living in the past? Are we worried about the future? These are the questions we have to answer to ourselves. And therefore, spiritual life is not a process of gaining something. You don't get anything. If we have this notion that when I take Lord's name, what I will get, you will get nothing. Then why should I take? Don't take. See, friends, again learn from the experience. When we go to sleep, don't demonstrate. When we go to sleep, what exactly happens? Think. First of all, we withdraw from the whole world. All our achievements, failures, friends, enemies, past, everything, we withdraw. Not now. Come back home. After coming home, everything is dropped. then we are below the quilt. Thereafter, what is the last thought? I want to sleep. I want to sleep. Till such time, I and want is there. Sleep has not begun. But is I struggling? First Shavasana, then one side you turn, no, this side you turn, no. Then let me do Bhujangasana, and ultimately the sleep begins. Now what is the sleep? In sleep, you have lost everything. Upanishad says, there the mother is not mother, father is not father, brother is not brother. That non-specific being is the truth. Attributeless, formless, effortless being is the truth. See, friends, and therefore, unless we recognize the value of this thing, we will not work for it. And what is the working? Working is not getting anything. Upanishad says, na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amritatva manasho. Not by karma, doing this, no. Dhanena, not by wealth. Na prajaya, neither by children nor by having disciples. There are two types of children. One type of children are called as the Bindu Santati, from the parents to children. Second type of children are from Guru to the disciple. No. Discard everything. Just be. In being, there are no efforts. In becoming, there is nothing but effort. And nobody can ever help us. When we recognize this principle, with this principle then we study. So, every day we go through so many experiences and we keep on learning. So what we have to learn? Now the first principle that we have to learn from Bhagavad Gita is very simple. Bhagavad Gita is not an independent book. It is a part of Mahabharata. And it is placed in a situation. And that situation is presented in the form of dialogue between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. Now here also those who are unable to have this understanding, like youngsters, they ask this question. See, Bhagavad Gita was told by Bhagavan Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield. Even if you simply read it without understanding, it will take at least 2 to 3 hours. So in the battlefield, in between the two armies, when Bhagavan Krishna was telling Bhagavad Gita, how it is possible? See? And therefore we don't believe it is true. So don't believe. Who wants you to believe? See, friends, this happens because we are unable to understand the import. See, friends, maybe let us take about 100 years before. Suppose somebody who was living before 100 years, suppose he comes in front of you and you tell him, see, what is happening in Washington DC, you can see it in Delhi anytime. How it is possible? It is far away. But today we know it is possible. See, similarly, the various siddhis which are coming for the yogis, they can read somebody's mind, they can bless somebody, they can cure your unhealthy conditions, etc. These are not bluffs. This is possible. Those who have conquered the Prakriti, they have got all the potentiality of the Prakriti at their disposal. It's not impossible. But I don't believe. Because you don't believe, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. See? And therefore, one of the most important things Bhagavad Gita tells us, Shraddhavan lavate jnanam tat paraha sayyatendriyaha. We can study the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, etc. under the umbrella of Shraddha or blind faith. Faith is always blind. Don't have that wrong notion. I don't have blind faith. Faith is required when you are blind. See, we get into the flight. Do we know we are going to reach there? You know, recently it happened. Singapore Airlines, what happened to that? Did they know it? Nothing. Our whole life is based on blind faith. Somebody tells us, this lady is your mother. Do we ask her, excuse me, let me see your DNA report? My DNA? No. Then that mother tells us that he is your father. I don't believe. Arey, you have to believe. In short, in the field of ignorance, blind faith is not a weakness, it is an inner strength. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam tat paraha sayyatendriyaha. If we do not have Shraddha, we cannot do anything in life. See? Therefore, with the Shraddha, when we start studying Bhagavad Gita, then we come to know that this was the situation which every one of us faces in life. See, what was the situation where Bhagavad Gita happened? All efforts were made to prevent the war between not the enemies, between the nears and the dears. So the first principle of Bhagavad Gita, we never suffer because of enemies. We suffer because of our nears and dears. War was between two brothers. If there is an enemy, I can go and shoot him. But if he is my own near brother and dear, what can I do? Now, is it not our life? The other day, a person was told, hey, that boy, he was driving the motorcycle so rough way, and he dashed somewhere, fell down, broke his hands and legs and all that. Now he's in a hospital. These days, the children are so irresponsible. What their parents do, we don't know. No, I am talking about your son. Oh, my son. Immediately everything changes. See, my friends, therefore, the first principle in life, Bhagavad Gita tells, we should protect us from ourselves, not from the enemies. See? Now, who is nearest to us, who really troubles us? Our own mind. If I am frustrated with my wife, I can divorce and go away. But if I am frustrated with my own mind, where will I go? Then we go to drinks and drugs and all that and get lost. See, friends, therefore, the first principle Bhagavad Gita tells us that Atmaiva Atmano Bandhu Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Our mind is our friend. Our mind is our enemy. And if the mind is under our control, it is a friend. If it is controlling us, it becomes an enemy. Now, how the mind controls us? See, mind controls us because of two wrong notions that we carry in our mind. One wrong notion is that we have arrogance of our success in life. Friends, failures may be digested, but perpetual success is very difficult to digest. It's very important. A successful person has the arrogance. This is exactly what happened to Arjun. One of the name of Arjun was Vijay. Vijay means always victorious. He was never defeated in any war that he fought. And therefore, he had that arrogance. And out of the arrogance, he asked the question, let me see who dares fight with me. His guru, his grandfather, they were in the opposite army. He knew them. And yet that arrogance. Then the second thing is, which is very negative, bitterness about anything or anybody in the world. Once I went to, you might have heard the name of Shirdi Sai Baba. Many of you might have heard. So I go there whenever I get a chance. So because they know me, I don't have to stand in a queue. I get darshan quickly. And there were a few commandos with me. So they also came. And then after when we went, did darshan, they gave me one coconut, one garland, and I did namaskar and went out. Maximum 5 or 10 seconds. So the person who was with me, he says, Swamiji, you get such a chance, they don't push you, but you just go out quickly. I said, because longer the list of demands, longer is the namaskar. Shorter is the list of demands, shorter is the namaskar. Therefore, they'll be doing namaskar. Oh, I forgot one. Do you think you don't ask? I had nothing to ask. You didn't ask anything. I asked one thing. Really? I said, yes. What is that? I said, I'll tell you if you ask that only, nothing else. Agreed? He said, agreed. I said, I have asked the Lord, oh Lord, let there be no hatred for anybody in the whole universe. Even once, even in the dream, even for fun in my whole life. This is what I asked, and he has given me. This state of your mind is the one where the divine descends. Because at this stage, we are nobody. See, my friends, these two negativities, arrogance and bitterness, they were overpowering Arjuna. And therefore, when he tells Bhagavan Sri Krishna, take my chariot between the two armies, let me see who dares fight with me. And those children of Dhritarashtra, they are bad, Atatai, they are terrorists, they deserve to be killed. Let me see who are there. These two negativities are death while living. And when this happened, fortunately, he was with Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And Bhagavan thought, now he is such a nice person, because of these two things, his whole life is being destroyed. And therefore, he created a situation. And situation was such that it created confusion, doubt and misery in his heart. So what Bhagavan did, he took the chariot in front of his guru, Dronacharya, grandfather Bhishmacharya, and told him, you have to fight with your guru and your grandfather fight. And that created a problem for him. How can I kill my grandfather? How can I kill my guru? And he was totally nonplussed. He became completely paralyzed. He himself describes. And ultimately says, I am unable to think properly. Now here we take a pause to understand the principle. Friends, under three conditions we should be careful. First, when you are happy, never promise anything to anybody. You will do wrong and then regret afterwards. When you are angry, never discuss anything with anybody. And when you are confused, never make any decisions. Arjuna had all the three. And because of that, he started making decisions and thinking as if he is a wise person. And then it was actually a process of depression, dejection, frustration. And he expected Bhagavan Krishna should authenticate, yes, what you're telling is right, we should not fight this war, we should go to Haridwar, Rishikesh, start a ashram there. See? But Bhagavan Krishna did not say anything. And in the second chapter, Bhagavan says, Arjun, you are talking like a wise man. What does it mean? You are otherwise. You are talking like a wise man. And who is a wise man? Gatasuna gatasuscha nanu shoshanti panditaha. Wise person is the one who is never miserable because somebody dies or somebody doesn't die. Otherwise, people are miserable for both the things. When somebody dies, they are miserable. But he doesn't die also. The sign of spiritual evolution is we are ever cheerful and happy. Cheerful and happy doesn't mean joining a laughing club, all the time. Cheerful and happy means living at zero complaint level. No complaints, no expectations, no demand, no recognition, no regrets. Mind is like the sky, without any disturbance. See, friends. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita gives this principle. Whenever there is any problem in our life, it should be a turning point in our life. See. Now take for example, I gave you example, I had some toothache here. Now the toothache is not given to make us miserable. Why this is given to us? To tell, hey, something is wrong, go to the dentist, get it corrected. When we get hurt in our mind, immediately, hey, something is wrong in your thinking, correct your thinking. In due time, we develop this faculty. It won't happen overnight. We develop this faculty. And in this faculty, we take every single event of our life as a divine message that we have to go the other way. The way we are going is wrong. See? But normally what happens? We complain. People don't understand me. We have to understand that. We are walking spiritual path, not people. See? About this I'll give you an example. One NRI from USA came to India. And he was driving me from Bombay to Pune. Those days, the express highway was not there. So we had to go through the national highway. And when we were going, suddenly a herd of buffalo was crossing the road. You know, in India, democracy is not limited to human beings. It is extended to animals also. Anybody can go anywhere. That's real democracy. So when the buffalo is crossing, he has to stop the car. He became so angry. Swamiji, what is this? I said, buffaloes. Why they are here? I said, I am not buffalo, ask them. Then I told him, I said, tell me, you have a driving license or the buffaloes have a driving license? If you have driving license, your ability to go through the turmoils of the traffic should be best. In the same manner, if we are walking spiritual path, our quality of life should be fantastic. Therefore, living at zero complaint level, no complaints. What is complaint? Complaint is declaration of our inability to deal with the situation is a complaint. See, and these complaints come only to those who think they are wise. I'll tell you about this one example. This happened in South Africa. When I was coming back, so I went to the counter and I kept my bag. So it was 20 kg. 20 kg they allow. So he said, no, you have got allowance only for 10 kilo. I said, but I am elder person. Your ticket is showing that you are half ticket. I said, how can it be? See my passport. Don't argue. I said, okay. I kept quiet. Go to him. So I went to that person, their boss. And I started acting dumb. Why you have come here? He sent me to Shwashun. What is the problem? I said, I don't know. Then he checked. Oh, the ticket is half, but passport here, you are old. No, it should be 20 kilo. So he wrote on that. I went back to him. He sent to you. Okay, so 10 plus 20, 30 kilo I got. Had I been arguing, I would have lost. Friends, we have to have the simple thing. We don't have to prove anything to anybody in life. On the contrary, we should not be recognized by anybody. See, there is a Upanishad where there is a mantra. The mantra is so beautiful. Na prishtaha kasyachit bruyat na cha anyayena cha pruchataha janan apihi medhavi jadaval lokam acharet. If the person who is asking you question, if the intentions are not right, if somebody has not asked us, don't talk. There is no need to answer everybody's every question. Therefore, one of our mantra is, Dekho suno mat bolo. See, hear, no comments. But we are Indians. We have to comment on everything in this world. दुनिया बनाने वाले काहे को दुनिया बनाई? कमेंट तुमको परेशान करने के लिए. See friends, therefore janan apihi medhavi jadavan lokamacharet. Remain so simple and not recognized by the world as the space. See? How many fingers are here? 4. Your attention is only on the fingers. But can the 4 fingers be 4 without the absence of the fingers in between? So although we are recognizing the absence of the fingers, yet our attention is only on the forms. In the same manner, let the world be what it is. Our attention is on our own being. And therefore, space never gets insulted. Space never gets praised. When a space is in the temple, it is not a holy space. When it is a toilet, it is not an unholy space. That effortless, attributeless, without becoming anybody, that is our natural existence. We don't have to do anything to get something. But our whole life is this struggle. We want to prove this, we want to prove that. See, friends, It is so important. And therefore, give yourself zero choice. Wherever we are placed by the Lord, take that as His prasad and go ahead. Lesser the demands, more is the happiness. More the demands, lesser is the happiness. See, friends. Now, this is exactly what Bhagavad Gita tells us in the first part. That if you have to live according to the principles of Bhagavad Gita. If you want to die, how to die? Die according to Bhagavad Mahapuran. So you decide whether you want to live or you want to die. If you want to live, follow Bhagavad Gita. If you want to die, follow Bhagavad Mahapuran. Both of them will tell you the same thing. They are not different. In Bhagavad Mahapuran, toward the end, Parikshit, the king, the student, comes to discover that he is not body, but he is supporting the body without getting influenced by the body. This he experiences toward the end of the Bhagavad Mahapuran. Therefore, after that, the snake comes, bites him, doesn't matter. Same thing in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna had this wrong notion. How can I kill my guru? How can I kill my grandfather and all that? And in and through whole thing Bhagavad Gita has gone. Ultimately, what was the conclusion? Bhagavan Krishna asked the same thing what Arjuna has asked him. See, Arjuna had asked, Karpanya dosho pavata svabhava. Oh Lord, I am feeling self-pity on myself. Friends, we should not feel pity on anybody in this world. It's a negative approach to life. See, suppose I feel pity on somebody. What is my thinking? Unfortunate fellow, he doesn't have anything. Okay, let me give the leftover sandwich. You condemn him. Never have pity. If you have to have, you serve. And when we serve, this place is called as Sevadham, isn't it? When we serve, then whom we serve? We serve our parents. We serve elders. We serve someone who is senior, better, higher than us. Therefore, that pity is a very negative thing. Don't have that dumb thing, I have got compassion for poor, and you condemn them. No. They are equally the abode of the divine as much we are. See, friends. Therefore, Arjuna says, I am having self-pity. As much we should not have pity on others, we should not have pity on ourselves. I am so unfortunate, I am so unlucky. No. See, Karpanya dosho. And as a result, what happens? Our own potentiality is hidden. Apata svabhavaha. And therefore, pruchami tva dharma samudha cheta. Therefore, I am asking you, O Lord, what is my position at this moment in life? See, what is my position? And thereafter he says, Yashreyasya nishitam tanme bruhi. Now tell me, what is right for me? Not what I like. What is right for me? See, friends. And thereafter he says, Shishyasteham shadimam tam prapannam. I am the disciple. Disciples are there to listen and follow, not to argue. See, friends. It's so important, my friends. And he has himself confessed that I am confused about my position in life at this moment. And at the end, in the 18th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna asked the same question. Has your delusion gone? Has your confusion gone? Have you collected your wits? Do you know where you are? Now you decide. I will not tell you. wise men never make decisions for others. Never make decisions for others. And for that our mantra is, see, hear, no comment. See? And Arjuna also says, sir, my delusion has gone. Nashto moha smriti labdha. Now I remember. What you remember? What for I am on the battlefield? To have self-pity? To run away from the situation of life? Or to fight for what I have come here? Friends, we have come to a stage in our life. As plants, we were eating from below, growing upward. As animals, we were eating from the front, growing backwards. As human beings, we eat from above, grow downwards and sidewards. What next? As regards the body is concerned, we have reached perfection in God's creation. Hereafter, the pending evolution is spiritual evolution. See, friends. Then this will be our last life. Otherwise, again the same thing, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, again we are born, again we die. There is no end to it. See, friends. Once I was somewhere in Nepal, I think. There was some beggar, all that, something very undesirable situation he was there. So Swamiji, don't you want to give some thing to him? I said, no, I don't want to give. Don't you feel bad about it? I said, no, I don't feel bad. It is God's creation. He will take care. Here I am for my spiritual evolution. Social service is not spirituality. Make it clear. Like the flowers don't give the fragrance, they have the fragrance. The sun doesn't give the light and heat, the sun has the light and heat. In the same manner, let the divinity express through us. And the divinity's expression is like the space, supports everything. Earth, water, fire, air. Rejects nothing, but doesn't get influenced by anything. This is our natural state. We don't have to do anything for that. Let us allow our natural being express without the conditionings through which it is expressing. Give it a try. Then Bhagavad Gita we can practice in our life day to day. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.